This is not, this is nothing new. We should not be surprised that this is happening. So I'll take nothing of it. So, yeah, right. Whatever you say. It's fine. We ready? Are you ready to predict some F1s? I saw. I currently have it set to, I literally have it on my other screen. And I have it set on spoilers don't read. So my plan, spoilers, come on. Come on. You can't put spoilers don't read and then just spoil me in the chat. That's not how this should go. I mean, so did I, but there you go. I spoiled you right back. So watch yourself. You're right. I apologize. Settle. Me and you. Sorry. I'm used to only having to put up with British immediately. So I was kind of giving him what for. I didn't realize it was you. That's my bad. Everybody smile. Everybody say cheese. You came in when I was giving British a hard time, and I thought your message was his because you're both blue in my OBS, and so I thought it was him. I didn't realize it was you. You won't be smiling. You're British. You don't do that. I mean, I guess. Let's see. All right. So here's the plan. You do. But again, I'm used to it literally just it being you. And so my brain didn't get that far. Because normally I don't have to. Realistically, I should be flattered that I start stream and have multiple people in here. That hasn't always been the case. All right, okay, plan. I'm actually gonna finish it this time. The plan is, imagine if you chose Haas. Hey, I would respect it. So here's the plan. I slightly rearranged the order from what I posted in Discord. So this is the order that we're gonna do and how I'm gonna do the video. Well, one, I'm gonna get rid of the overlay because I'm gonna edit this into its own thing. And I'm not set up fancy enough to have the overlay not there, so I'm gonna get rid of the overlay. So you're gonna disappear from screen, and then we're gonna do the category. I'm gonna give my prediction explanation, then I'm gonna give chat prediction. So in the video I'm gonna have my prediction, and then before I switch I'm gonna have chat's prediction. And then we'll go on to the next one and do that all the way through. And then I have one at the bottom, which I did not include in Discord, but we can all imagine what it will be, and it shouldn't take too long. So when I read out that's okay. You don't really need to do much of an explanation. My plan is to give, so for the video, the vision I have in my head of the video is I'm gonna go section or question by question. I'm gonna give mine explanation, and then just as a fun, like, here's what Twitch chat thinks. Just along the bottom or something before switching to the next one. And so it'll be a bit of a consensus, or depending on how many people show up throughout this thing, we may include all of the predictions, or if we can come to a consensus, we'll see. But here's the order that we're going to do them in. We're going to start off, we're going to leave the big ones for the end because, you know, obviously we got to, you know, the view retention, you know, we got to get these numbers up. So we're going to start with, so I think you threw this one out when we were coming up with these on Monday, and I actually really like it. The more I thought about it, who strips the most paint from their car is going to be first. Then we're going to go with biggest constructor's disappointment, most DNFs, biggest surprise, our most out there prediction, which I came up with a good one that I'm actually super interested to talk about. Then we have surprise podium, So surprise podium and surprise win, we're going to do separate questions, and we're also going to operate under the assumption that we can't say none. Yeah, I'll hunt for yours, it's fine. So we can't say none, and we have to give our most likely surprise podium and most likely surprise win. And then our biggest flop, whatever that means to you. Could be driver, could be constructor, could be whatever. Totally up to you. Who's the best of the rest in the constructors fight? And then we're gonna do constructors top 3, drivers top 3, and then last and not least, because this is my stream and my channel, we're gonna do where does Haas finish? And we're all gonna fight about that one probably. But those are kind of the questions in the order that we're gonna do. I like the questions we came up with. I think we came up with some pretty good ones. I actually spent a good amount of time today going over my constructors and drivers picks. Honestly, the drivers picks might have been harder than the constructors ones. You aren't gonna like one of your answers now. I mean, that's what we're here for. You know, that's what we're here for. We're not trying to please everyone. We are here to give our predictions that we then can go back later at the end of the season and try and see who got it the closest. You know, that's the fun of predictions. We're gonna come back and so if you want, I think you're in the Discord if I'm not mistaken. I could be misremembering. If you want to get a head start, you can go over to Discord. We have all the questions that you can copy and paste your answers there. Or if you want, whenever we get to each question, you can just throw it in chat and I'll get it from there. This might take a minute to record. Honestly, I would not be surprised if this takes us a little bit. But honestly, since preseason testing starts tomorrow, it's almost just like we could do an entire stream just chatting about the start of the season. I would not be surprised. So the overall plan tonight is I want to record all of this stuff, and then if we have time, depending on what time it is, we might do a round of Haas F1 Manager. We'll see. In general, we'll probably chat in general afterwards, but for the video specifically, we're going to focus on the questions that I just read out. So Sentinel, if you want to just throw your answers in, so I'm going to read, whenever I read the question section by section, if you just want to throw your answer in the chat right then, because like I said, I'll read the question out loud, I'll give my answer, my explanation, and that should hopefully give you enough time to throw your answer in the chat. Oh, yes, sorry. Yes, in Discord, yeah, you can just do it. If you go in there, you can see exactly what British did, and you can just copy that, honestly, and just do that. Sorry. I'm not used to that many people. And British, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really just used to me and you being the only ones who really post in the Discord. And so my brain isn't wired to think of the Discord as much anymore. The funniest thing is like I set up this Discord forever ago just to have it, and I'm glad I have it because it's a good resource. But then it kind of died for a little bit because obviously I'm a streamer with less than 200 followers, and it's grown a lot more now. But back then it was like very little regular engagement. So you're glued to Discord, you have to be illegal. Yeah, no, I totally understand that. See, that's the thing I'm trying to get better at, is using Discord more. I didn't use Discord like day to day before this, and I'm trying to get better at it now that I'm trying to run my own, just trying to keep on top of things. So I'm going to try and figure out ways that we can use Discord more often for things. We're definitely probably going to use it for, I want to do for when F1 Manager 23 comes out, whatever that looks like. I want to do a giveaway. I have a couple of ideas for things later this year that we'll probably try and use Discord more for. But, let's see. I'm really excited about some of the answers that I picked for this, by the way. I was going through it, and I think some of them are pretty good. Some of them are pretty obvious. I think that we'll definitely go through. But there's at least a couple in here that I had a kind of a brain blast moment, and even if it might be obvious, I think it'll be worth talking about. I'm excited. We'll give, I don't know, I'm still kind of working up into this. I'm gonna, if I don't record an intro to the video now, am I gonna remember to do it after I stop streaming tonight? Because I'm gonna want to do it soon, because I want to get this video up for Friday. Coconut water with vitamin C. You know, I was like that too, and then I actually started drinking it like semi-regularly. It's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. You want me to do it live? Now you're gonna get me all nervous. I'm not used to doing like piece to camera stuff live. Obviously doing like F1 Manager and F122 live is way easier because, yeah, but it's a little different. It's a little different because, I mean, you can always just like start playing F1 Manager at the same time and it works. This is a little different, but also you're right, it's not really that different. So it is what it is. Let me, hey now, everybody relax. That's a bunch of Twitch notifications. All right, I change this. All right, we're gonna, here, we'll give Cinna like another minute. Actually, I can do my intro. This is gonna be probably the video. A great song, by the way. This is gonna be probably the video that I've done. I'll have to do the most editing on. And so, like, I just need to accept that. And so we can do the intro, and then yeah, we can do the intro, and then we can give Sentinel a little bit of time to type out everything, and then we can get going. Let me turn off. Also, I remembered I owned this shirt. I did the thing where I hung it up inside out, and so I couldn't see the design, and so I literally was like, I had a brain blast moment before I came down here to stream, but I was like, this shirt is perfect. Again, minus the Shanghai. Oh, minus the Shanghai. It's like, it's perfect. Oh, British thanks for the gifted sub to Sentinel. Welcome back, Sentinel. We actually have some more emotes for you to use that I still need to go through, and you are so nice. I need to go, so I already want to, you're nice, we get it, you're nice. You're a nice guy, British. I appreciate the gifted sub, man, I appreciate you. I already want to go back through my my emotes and figure out which of the tires I want to get rid of, because I have a couple of new ideas that I want to make into emotes, and we just don't have the space, because we just don't have the you know, we don't have the emote slots. We don't have the emote slots to use all of them, and I do like having all of the tires, and we might have to sunset some of them for now, or at least put them in the back storage, and bring them back out once, you know, obviously once we get more emote slots. But that said, as a reminder to anyone else who might have stopped in, we're doing our official 2023 F1 season predictions now that now that we're so close to the start of season. Dude, I had a moment of realization today where, like, I knew the season started next week, but like it really hit me that, like, oh, this time next week we're going to be into the first race weekend, and it's going to be hype. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. The problem is, though, we're not, what is it? I'll worry about that later. It's literally, it's coming. It's coming, and it's coming soon. We are almost there. We gotta stop beating around the bush. Let me see. Where are you? Preseason today and Drive to Survive tomorrow. All right, it is tomorrow for you. Dynamite. The bush needs its bush. What's up, Dynamite? But yes, Drive to Survive is soon as well. Oh, I'm thinking I'm wrong. Sorry. Time is relative to wherever you are. Also, do you really consider it, or whatever, midnight, 1 a.m., whatever it is for you, to be the next day? Or is it when you wake up? I guess for you it might also be different because it seems like your schedule is always wonky. Yeah, I was good. Okay, that's okay. That's fair. That's an odd set of situations. Time is just a mindset. That's why you're always late. You think you're getting fights? Time doesn't exist. Think about it this way: time is a concept made up by humans to control other people. So don't be a sheep. All right, British is getting impatient, so let's do it. This is gonna be an actual intro, like an actual intro. I'm not even gonna be that guy who closes chat. I'm just gonna do it. All right. Damn it. You know, I had it and I took that breath and now I'm nervous. Never mind. Actually, did you make that shot without yelling out code? I mean, is it really a shot if I literally can like reach my trash can? Like, it's literally a foot away from my hand right here. What is that emote? You got some weird emotes in there, my guy, not gonna lie. Kobe dunks too. True. Kobe do. He do. You're just dropping whatever's going on here. I'm just gonna ignore British here. You know, I've never thought about my glasses reflecting my lights. I'm new to this whole glasses thing. Why am I nervous? I literally do this 3 or 4 times a night when we play F1 Manager. All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. And today we got a very special video because for the first time, I am going to give you my 2023 Formula One season predictions. I have my Twitch chat here with me as well, and we're going to give you what we think is going to happen this season in Formula One. Preseason testing is going to be very underway by the time this video comes out, and this time, not but a week from now, we're going to be watching in awe and excitement at round 1 of the 2023 Formula One season gets underway. We're very excited, and let's go ahead and let's get this thing started. Hey, yo, I kind of nailed that. Settle's done. Perfect. British reminding Sentinel that he's a nice guy. Gotta remember that. Woo. As long as everybody knows. All right. All right, we gotta get this thing rolling. All right. Our first prediction for the 2023 season is this. We just had the car liveries go live online for the first time, and so our first prediction is going to be which constructor strips the most paint off of their car by the time the season ends. For me, I think it's going to be none other than Scuderia Ferrari. I think Ferrari this season is in such a precarious position amongst all of the constructors that if they are looking for that one little advantage, that one little thing that might take them over the edge, I do not think that they would be so petty as to not stoop low enough to start stripping paint off of the car and in trying to swing it in some sort of way of introducing more black to the SF23. I think they would do almost anything if it came down to it down the stretch of the season to give them as much an advantage or whatever it takes to catch up to the rest of the field. So Scuderia Ferrari, I think, will be the one who strips the most paint off of their car in 2023. That one I took a little bit of time to like think up, and I think it makes a lot of sense. You know, I really was debating on who in like the bottom half of the grid would start doing it, but I think it could be Ferrari, who potentially would be willing to change up the livery and do it. Just to think about it, it makes sense, right? Just think about it. Imagine it's them, Red Bull, and Merc, kind of all right there, or maybe even just like Red Bull, Ferrari, Merc, but they're like just there. You don't think that they would do whatever it takes to like, dude, it made a lot of sense when I thought about it. You think cars with low budget strip paint cars with high budget come with upgrades? True, you're not wrong. I'm thinking about it. You know, I went through it. I also tried to come up with something a little more out of the box, and I think of any of the top teams, I think Ferrari would be the one to go for it. If they're right there, I think they would. Let's see. British, where is he? Which constructor strips the most paint? He says, honestly, probably Williams again, which is going to be very sad. You know, I spent a little bit of time on Williams. I did. I really thought about it. Yeah, Sentinel agrees. Williams, as they did last year, they do have a history of it. I don't know. It probably could end up being Williams, but at the same time, I really tried to think of which of like the top constructors would it be. All right, and on to the next one. Okay, our next prediction is going to be the biggest constructor's disappointment. And for me, I try to go a little again, a little out of the box. I think the biggest constructor's disappointment is going to be Alpine. Alpine had a pretty solid finish to last season. They finished 4th in the constructors, and now that they've made a change with Fernando Alonso leaving and bringing in the other Frenchman of Pierre Gasly, I think Alpine could be in a very short answer to a short answer to what could definitely be a longer question is I think the apparent feud between Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly could come to a head and cause a lot of problems, as well as I think just all of the question marks surrounding Pierre Gasly is going to be a lot of potential points lost. And so I think there is definitely not impossible to imagine that Alpine takes a step back and we absolutely see a bit of a French implosion, to the delight of our British associates here in Twitch chat. But I think Alpine has a lot of question marks, and I think if anyone was going to take a step back, I think Alpine could be a very high contender to do so. And so yes, Alpine is going to be my prediction for biggest constructors disappointment. Twitch chat, what do we think? British says, where's that one? I really should have just done this in the same order. The biggest constructor's disappointment. British coming straight for my heart and soul, saying Haas, they will always have a great start to the season, but then proceed to cool off. Breaking my heart. British breaking my heart. And then Sentinel comes in with Aston Martin. They try too hard and end with less. Honestly, I I did think about Aston Martin a lot. I think Aston Martin has a lot of expectations being put upon them by, you know, media and fans bringing in Fernando Alonso. But at the same time, I did spend a lot of time thinking about Aston Martin. I really, really did. You think Ocon and Gasly are huge talents? Maybe not the best, but you think they are best midfield team? That's fair. That's fair. Ocon huge. Yeah, what a huge twat. That's fair. So Twitch chat a little divided. One says Haas, the other says Aston Martin. Going to be a fascinating year for the bottom and midfield teams in the constructors. All right, here's my hot take with Aston Martin. I think Aston Martin is going to fail, not because like the car won't be good or anything like that. I think it's going to be because Fernando Alonso gets so frustrated that Aston Martin is going to give Stroll all of their preferred strategies that he is just going to launch that team into the sun. Jesus. All right. On to the next prediction, and we have most DNFs this season as a whole. For me, I think I took a very safe route, and I think it makes a lot of sense when you consider it'll be his first year in Formula One. It's going to be his first chance to, really get in an F1 car and, for a full season. And so you really don't know what you're going to get out of a driver like this. You really don't know what he's going to be able to do over the long season. You see the moments of brilliance in the younger junior categories, but once you get into the pinnacle of open wheel racing and Formula One, you just never know what's going to happen. And so most DNFs for me, Logan Sargent. I think it just makes the most amount of sense. I mean, of all of the new rookies, I think Logan has the largest gap to make up, and I think he could be pushing a little too hard in a car that I don't think is going to do and give him the performance that he exactly wants. I don't think it's going to be egregious or anything like that, but at the same time, I think when it comes to DNFs, I think Logan Sargent just doesn't have the same pedigree that people like Oscar Piastri and Nick DeVries have. And so I think Logan Sargent is my pick for most DNFs this coming season. British, non-surprisingly, goes with one Esteban Ocon. Quote, "That man is dangerous. He's a poor teammate and has no awareness." I think this is not a very shocking thing to read when it comes to British and his response. For Senel, I think another pretty safe pick. We have a one Yuki Tsunoda. We're going to be talking about Yuki Tsunoda here really soon. Spoilers. So I think both of those are pretty solid picks. Did Ocon really? I don't think Ocon really DNF'd that much last year, did he? Like, he didn't run into many issues with DNS. I could be misremembering. Obviously Alpine had reliability issues out the wazoo, but I feel like Alonso got more of the DNFs for Alpine. He didn't, but I hope he does this year. That's fair. Hey, these are predictions. They don't always have to be, statistically factual. It could just be purely on vibes. So Twitch chat has Esteban Ocon and Yuki Tsunoda as their DNFs. Okay, on to the next question, and I think this is going to be probably my most fun category to talk about because I have dropped an absolute hot take for my answer. That question is just simply biggest surprise. What is the biggest surprise we're going to see in the 2023 F1 season? Space Nerd, welcome in. Get involved. We're doing our F1 season predictions for a YouTube video. So when I read these questions, feel free to drop your answer in the chat and I will 100% include it for when we get there. Also, welcome in. We're doing this first. North Day. All right. Woo. All right, I'm gonna do that again, just so I can go straight into my answer. All right, the next question we have is a very broad one, but we are going with the biggest surprise that we're going to see in the 2023 Formula One season. And I have gone for not specifically anything on track. All right, stay with me here. My biggest surprise of the 2023 F1 calendar is that the Las Vegas Grand Prix is going to be good. That I think is going to be the biggest surprise that we've seen this season. There has been a lot of talk over the off season when they announced the Vegas race that it's going to be bad. I think my biggest surprise is that we are going to get to the Las Vegas Grand Prix, and I think it's going to be good. Don't tell me why. Don't ask me to really explain why. I just really get a vibe and a feeling in the universe that by the time November rolls around, the Las Vegas Grand Prix is going to absolutely bang, and I think we're going to be remembering it for years to come, and I cannot wait for that race to come through. Everyone else, thoughts? Space Nerd says Norris W, as well as DeVries gets a podium for biggest surprise. That would be a big one. 100% that would be a big one. I need to remember to grab these. Need to open Discord on this computer. I'm gonna throw these in the Discord as well, just so I can remember to grab them for the video. That's probably what I'm gonna be doing the rest of the night. Honestly, we might do this, maybe speed run a Red Bull episode, and then I might hop off because I'm gonna start editing this because I want it to go up on Friday. It's gonna take a while. Let's see. Biggest surprise from British: Aston Martin, mega season incoming. They've had promising wind tunnel results, and Fernando says it's quick, which is better than GP2. Very true. Very, very true. All right, I'm just gonna do this and we'll figure it out later. Senel says it has long straights, so a lot of overtake potential. So yeah, you like races packed with action. That's what I'm saying. I think it's gonna have its moments. I'm not saying it's gonna be a perfect like end to end, but I think it might be better than some people are saying. Let's see, Senel. Biggest surprise. Oh, Senel, my man. Senel's prediction. Biggest surprise. Haas on the podium. I would keel over and die of happiness if Haas ends up on the podium at some point this season. Those are the predictions we like to see here. This is the vibes we need around the Haas F1 team. I approve. I approve, Senel. 100%. Bang on. Keep going, the lad. All right. All right, some of these predictions already got me questioning, like my biggest hot take might actually be less hot than I think. Last year they get pole, now they need a podium. True. You know, sometimes you just got to get lucky. Sometimes it's more luck than anything else. All right, sticking on the broader questions, we now move into what we think our biggest, out there prediction is going to be. Not necessarily the biggest surprise, but taking though even that other step back, big picture, kind of take a step out of the box. What do we think is going to be the biggest, most out there thing that we're going to see this season? And for me, I've gone with this. Nick DeVries will beat his teammate Yuki Tsunoda in the Drivers' Championship this season. I think Nick is going to step into that car, that AlphaTauri, and I think he's going to do what Pierre couldn't, which is get the most out of that car and at minimum be more consistent than we've seen out of Yuki. I think Yuki is prone to those mistakes that really take him out of contention in race weekends. And so honestly, I don't think it's unrealistic to see a type like Nick DeVries, who spent more than a couple seasons learning from Mercedes, to then jump into the AlphaTauri, and I think he'll step in, and I think he's going to do a lot better than Yuki in a car that I think it's going to be very Alex Albon-esque, where he'll take a car that really isn't that great and potentially try and extract a little bit more out of it than the car probably has any business actually being. All right, British, where did I put this one? Biggest out there prediction: the two Red Bulls will have a big collision at one point during the season. Very Baku-esque. When was that? Baku 2018. very Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen-esque kind of collision. I think that would be very interesting to see. Checo's performance this year is definitely one of the things I've been trying to wrap my head around the most. For Senel, George Russell will show his real potential by failing a lot of races. In quotes, most overrated driver. That is a hot take. That is a hot take coming out of Senel, and I love it. He thinks George Russell is a fraud, and we'll see where he truly should be, which, according to this, is probably well down the order. Senel claiming his stake that he does not like George Russell. Going to be a fascinating one, to say the least. I think that's going to be a very interesting one. British says George has pure talent, easily over Lulu. I think George definitely has a lot of raw talent. I think I would agree with that. I think this season is going to be very interesting when it comes to Mercedes. Man put a Williams on the front row. Even got that's very true. He did put that Williams on the front row. Cannot argue with that one. All right. Next one. This one is going to be fun. Put a Williams in the top 3. Very true. Very, very true. All right. So for the next 2 predictions, the only stipulation is that we cannot say none. And that first question is going to be surprise podium this season. We really didn't see any of this last season, in which the only podium by a non-Red Bull, Mercedes, or Ferrari team was Lando Norris at Imola, I want to say. And so I think a surprise podium the qualifications for a surprise podium may not necessarily mean what it usually means, but for me, I think one Valtteri Bottas is going to find himself on a podium at some point this year. I know he kind of faded down the stretch last season, but kind of Alfa Romeo did as a whole in terms of their team. But I think we could see one Valtteri Bottas end up on a podium at some point this season, just because he'll find himself in the right place at the right time. And I think it's not out of the realm of possibility, not gonna lie. All right, British, where are we at? Surprise, where is it? Surprise podium. Oh, British. Now this is a prediction coming out of one British TTG. Hulkenberg on the podium this season. The man who holds the record in F1 says one Nico Hulkenberg is going to put it on the podium this year. The only reason I'm going to let this slide is because as a Haas fan, I would love to see Haas on the podium, regardless of the fact that it's Hulk. And I only say it because he took Mick's seat, and so if it happens, I'll be extremely happy. I would be a lot happier if it was Kevin Magnussen, but at the same time, I would lose literally my entire stuff if a Haas ends up on the podium. Let's see. Senel, where did you put it? Driver, surprise win, DNFs. Senel, did you leave off surprise? I guess your biggest surprise is Haas on a podium, so I guess your surprise podium would probably also classify as a Haas on the podium. So we're just gonna use that because it also still works. Either Haas on the podium would be a very big surprise, and so we will go with that one as well. Now, the next one along the same lines, we didn't see it at all last year, unless you count George Russell's win in Brazil as being a surprise win. But what surprise win would be the most surprising going into 2023? For me, I think it wouldn't be as much of a surprise, but I think considering how the 2022 cars performed on track, for my surprise win, I have one young Lando Norris as my pick for a surprise win. He consistently dragged that McLaren consistently into the top 10, finished P7 in the driver standings, and so I think he could find himself to be in one of those positions to put it on the top step of the podium come at some point this year, should the stars align. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that it's very likely to happen, but I think if we were to see a surprise win, it could be one young Lando Norris, as he was, as British points out in the chat, the only man not in the top 6 to score a podium last season. That just consistently shows that he's putting it in a spot where he's always in contention, and he's always just seems to be right there chugging along, and just kind of needs the stars to align one time to put it on the top step. For British, he also goes with Lando Norris and quote, "That man is the GOAT. He's the GOAT," end quote. And for Senel, surprise win, a little bit of a reversal from my surprise podium. He goes with one Valtteri Bottas, assuming probably pretty similarly along the kind of the same reasoning that I went for his surprise podium. Is always seems to put himself in a position, and that Alpha I think could potentially outperform itself behind the hands of one Valtteri Bottas. Senel is not French, I can tell you that. All right, I feel like we might have some let me see here. Biggest. Did I include this? Did I just make this one up? I might have. I did. Sorry. Checking. Am I dumb? I wrote it down, but I didn't include it. All right, so we're gonna skip this one. We're kind of covering that. All right. We're getting down to it. We're getting all right. We're getting down to the nitty gritty, the things everyone wants to see this season. We're gonna go with our constructors 4th place finish, otherwise known as the best of the rest. And for this season, I have gone with McLaren. I've gone with McLaren for the pure simple fact is that I think kind of what we were talking about with Lando this past season, always finding himself getting consistent points week in and week out, with their weak link being Daniel Ricciardo in the other car fighting against Alpine, which was consistently scoring double points with Fernando Alonso. Assuming he finished the race, was usually finishing well into the top 10 and sometimes dragging that Alpine further up into the top 10 than maybe others could, as we saw with Ocon. But when you're fighting a battle for best of the rest, you need a driver pairing that's going to consistently get you points, maybe not always challenge for wins, but at the same time you need them to be there every race. I think there is potential in that McLaren outfit this season, with Lando Norris back again and the young, hotly contested prodigy coming in, Oscar Piastri, otherwise known as Oscar Piastri, getting his debut season. Probably one of the more highly regarded rookies to come into F1 in quite some time. So I think if all goes to plan, I think McLaren will end up best of the rest this season. Got a popcorn kernel. And again, so I was a bit of an Alpha Tower fan, but because you drive a Haas F122 co-op career sport, Haas, let's go. Gasly's one of the drivers you like. Like, you don't like Ocon, but we need to acknowledge he does deliver points. He does deliver points. He'll never actually admit it, but British agrees with you. I'm honestly, Gasly in the Alpine is one of the things I'm looking forward to the most. All right, British, what do you got? Best of the rest is also McLaren. They've been there pretty constantly, and I think getting along this, I'm assuming along the same lines. Having a pair of drivers in there that can consistently score points and consistently be there each race weekend will definitely go a long way when it comes to being the best of the rest. for Senel. Senel goes with Alpine. Ocon and Gasly will score great points, assuming Gasly can step into an Alpine and perform unlike he was able to do with the AlphaTauri. Now, granted, the AlphaTauri is not the best car that we've seen of the 2022 cars, and so it is going to be fascinating to see what Alpine can do this season. I think Alpine and McLaren both have, you know, a very good opportunity to make a step forward and kind of maybe not challenging any of the top three teams, but I do think that they are going to be poised themselves to be there fighting for best of the rest again this coming season. I think British is just proving just how much he just does not like Ocon. I think more than anything. That's probably what that means. All right, this is it. This is it. The secondary granddaddy of them all. Our constructors top three for the 2023 season. And here we are in reverse order. In reverse order. My constructors top three, finishing third in the constructors this season. Scuderia Ferrari. Ferrari, I think, is going to struggle this season. So I have them finishing third in the constructors this season because they came out of the gates very hot last season and really just struggled down the stretch, and in second place. And it's because, and they're going to end up in third for me because in second place, Mercedes will finish P2 in the constructors this season because the way they finished last season, I think, shows more momentum going into 2023 than Ferrari did. If anything, Ferrari lost momentum over the course of the season, and Mercedes only gained momentum over the course of the season. There's a lot of feelings going on in Twitch chat about this one, and we'll wrap it up with first place. It's Red Bull. It's got to be Red Bull. I mean, I don't think anyone is going to argue about that. I think it's still going to be at least one more year in the sport before anyone will be able to match the development of Red Bull and really start challenging for the constructors again. But there it is, from reverse order. Ferrari finishing third in the constructors, followed by Mercedes in second, and winning the constructors for the second year in a row is Red Bull Racing. Let the hot takes flow. Let them flow. I'm seeing a lot of boos. I'm seeing a lot of boos in the chat. This is what's gonna happen. This is fact. This is fact. And I'm telling you. I'm telling you, he's a phony. Hey, we're not. Hey, I said it all last season, and I've been saying it all this season. I'm fascinated to see what Mercedes can do. All right, if you're a Mercedes, you don't win 8 consecutive constructors titles because you can't build a car. You had one bad season, and now you have a whole off season. I think Mercedes takes a big step forward. I think Mercedes finishes P2. They won 8 consecutive constructors titles. They struggled for 1 year, and then now everyone's off the train. Everyone's gone. They're like, oh, they're washed. They lost once. They almost got second. Ferrari just got a little bit too big of a lead in there. The W13 was just, it wasn't it. It wasn't it. British, your constructors top 3 in reverse order. All right, you want to boo me? Here we go. British's constructors top 3 in reverse order. In P3, Red Bull. In P2, Mercedes, and P1, Ferrari. You want to boo me for my choices? You really think Red Bull is gonna fall down the order that far? All right, we'll see. We will see. Oh, we want to talk about hot takes. Settle constructors top 3 reverse order. Actually, I'll go top down. P1 Ferrari, P2 Mercedes, P3 McLaren. Senel thinks that Red Bull is falling out. Senel, let me get this straight. Look at me. I'm gonna look at you. I'm gonna look at chat. Your constructors top 3 is Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren. Your best of the rest was Alpine. Are you saying that Red Bull Racing is finishing at most P5 in the Constructors' Championship? Hey, clip it. Damn it, it's not on the screen. Someone clip it. Yeah, all right. Oh, that gets my nod for biggest hot take coming from Twitch chat. Hold on. Any particular reason why? Is it really just the wind tunnel thing? Because that's a hot take. If McLaren finishes, yeah. If McLaren finishes third, British is buying a plane ticket. He's gonna come over here. I'll give him a good what for. That win sometime is gonna have fucked them tenfold. I mean, they're gonna have to have gotten hit so hard. I mean, their car compared to everyone else by the end of last season was far and away the best car out there. They're gonna have to have taken like the biggest of hits in development for this season. Crap car and Perez will not be a team player because he's giving Max a hard time, and damage will make them lose positions. Yeah, I mean, if we're going to consistently see Red Bull implode upon, hey, I'm not saying I wouldn't take it. I'm not saying it wouldn't be super fascinating to watch, but that is a hot take. Enough infighting and lack of development. P5. Oof. Imagine Red Bull having the year they had in 2022 and then immediately hitting them with a P5 in the next year. That's wild. That's wild. All right, second to last one, the granddaddy of them all. Drivers top 3 finish in 2023. My top 3 in reverse order. Finishing P3 in the Drivers' Championship. Finished in 2022 in P2 for the Drivers' Championship. I have one Charles Leclerc finishing P3 in the Drivers' Championship in 2023. Hold for applause. Thank you. In P2 of the 2023 Drivers' Championship, I have Sir Lewis Hamilton finishing P2 this season in the World Drivers' Championship. And winning the World Drivers' Championship for 2023 should be pretty straightforward. I have, and it does pain me to say this, one Max Verstappen back to back World Drivers' Championships. It pains me to say it, but I think Max and Red Bull are going to have another good year. And listen, I'm not going to be the first one to say I'm happy about it, but I think that's what's going to happen. So I have Max winning, Lewis coming in second, and Charles Leclerc finishing in P3 in the drivers. And if I had to go down from there, I would probably say George finishes P4 and Checo rounds out the top 5. I think I didn't want to. We're trying to be realistic here, you know. until I will happily be proven otherwise, but as of right now, in this moment, I think that's what's gonna happen. Give British his money back. British, what do you got? I have a feeling it's gonna be a little different. Drivers top 3 in reverse order. In P3, Max Verstappen. Finishing P3 in the driver standings. Hot take, British. That's a hot take. In P2, one George Russell. And winning his first World Drivers' Championship, one Charles Leclerc. That would be... I'm all for it. I'm not going to say I'm not. I'm really not. Settle coming in, swinging for himself. Again, I'll go top down instead of bottom up. Settle also has one Charles Leclerc winning the World Drivers' Championship for Ferrari. Now, me and Settle, same wavelength. He also has one Lewis Hamilton coming home in P2. And in third, one Lando Norris. That would be something as well. I guess that kind of goes along pretty similarly with his prediction that Red Bull gets like 5th in the championship. So you really wouldn't expect to see a Red Bull driver that far up. But that is wild, to say the least. As a McLaren and Williams fan, it hurts to be rooting for Ferrari. I mean, yeah, I get that. Is the rooting for Ferrari pretty much just the lesser of two evils for you at that point? That's what it feels like. That's what I figured. Not a Ferrari fan, but the hype is in the air. It's their season. I mean, haven't they been saying that for years? It never seems to actually be their season. All right, we actually have one. We have one question left, and I will be remiss to ask it as me on this channel. Where does the Haas F1 team finish the season in the constructors in 2023? My broad prediction, I think Haas finishes 7th or above in the constructors. I didn't do that one, you're fucking right. Did I skip that? I didn't, you're right. I didn't do that. All right, we're gonna have to do the Haas one again. Think about it though. I did, it's literally the only one I didn't cross out. Damn it. Oh, you know what? I went to write it down here. Like at the bottom, it was supposed to be on the bottom. I even wrote the little tick. And I decided to come over here and just completely skipped it. All right, who loses race seat? Now we gotta think about this. I just saw your guys' answer and it's the same. I did think about that. Yeah. I think Williams, doubt it. I think Albon has got himself a seat at Williams for kind of as long as he wants it. I don't think they're going to replace Sargent immediately. Let's see. Tauri, probably fine. Although, do we really think that do we really think if Yuki has just another stinker that Red Bull wouldn't give him the boot? Are we really going to think that? I can see it. I mean, they've kicked people out of the Red Bull seat for less. Let's see, who else? Aston Martin's fine. Stroll's never leaving unless he wants to. Fernando's probably there for at least 2 seasons. Let's see. Haas. Honestly, I think both Hulk and Kevin are probably fine for a full season. Unless Kevin just pulls a Mick, they might look elsewhere. But I think at this point they've committed to the older, more consistent crowd. Let's see. Alfa Romeo's fine. You got Joe and Valtteri, they're fine. All right, let's go top down. Red Bull. There's one name that makes sense that we might go for. Ferrari, I think, are fine. Mercedes, I think the only way is if Hamilton retires. But I guess there's only one answer. If it's who loses their race seat, it's not like who gives up their race seat. All right, we'll do this and then we'll go back to the Haas. I'm gonna have to. This just made editing so much harder. All right. All right, our next prediction that we're gonna make is who, if any, is going to lose their race seat at some point this season. And I think everyone online and every prediction I've seen has one name at the top, and I will be no different. I think Checo in the Red Bull has a bit of a target on his back when it comes to his seat in the Red Bull. Now, if he goes through this season, falls back in line, and really embraces his role as the pure unquestioned second driver in the Red Bull, I think he'll be fine. But if he really starts to push a little too hard, I think I could see Red Bull moving him out. They have Daniel Ricciardo in the wings. I don't know if they would necessarily want to put him back in the Red Bull, but I think that threat of Daniel being there is always going to hang over his head. And then you guys both agree. Nick, Yuki, and yeah, they've got, yeah, you got Nick, Yuki, Checo. They're Nick, Yuki, and Daniel all within one contract. Like one contract. So yeah, I think Checo definitely just makes the most sense. Oof, British with some harsh words. All right, let's do Haas again. Now that we actually have all the questions. And then finally, I would be remiss personally, content-wise, to not ask for and give my prediction for where the Haas F1 team finishes this season. I think with their add in the fact that I think this is the first season that they're actually going to be hit the budget cap thanks to their new sponsorship with MoneyGram. I think Haas F1 team is going to finish at minimum 7th in the constructors, but my official prediction is that Haas will finish 6th in the constructors this season, making a good jump after last season where they really struggled down the stretch. So with a full season of development and a full season where they're able to hopefully compete the whole season, I think Haas could finish and will finish 6th in the constructors. British in the chat says, I think Haas will be as high as 4th again at the start of the season, but will fall down to P8, where they yet again struggle with strategies to stay in points. It's sad, but it's all too familiar for Haas, and you expect nothing less. And then Sentinel, I saw in the chat, said, what was it, P6? Haas 6, yep, makes sense. Grab this, throw it in the Discord. Perfect. You're a bit confused. You realize that Checo's last year at Red Bull. Just go for the contract in 16. Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like I saw that. Oh yeah, they did do that, didn't they? Yeah, because he won Monaco and they were like, hey, you want to come on for another couple of seasons? And everyone was like, ooh, spicy. Because the whole other stuff. Yeah, 6. Cool. All right, outro. All All right, you guys, that wraps up our official 2023 Formula One predictions. What about you? What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below what you think is going to happen this season in 2023. I think I speak for everyone when I say that we cannot wait for the season to get started. To see cars going around on track again is going to be a wonderful sight, and I personally cannot wait, and it cannot get here soon enough. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. So professional. Got him. We're back. Let's go. All right, that's gonna like take forever to edit. Boo Red Bull. Just boo Red Bull, that's it. Just that. Boy. That took a minute. I need to fix this. I forgot. Nope, not what I wanted. I always forget how blue are my eyes? I don't know. How blue are they? They're like a blue, green, gray color. It depends on the day. Thank you. I've always been happy with it. Not, I've never complained, never heard complaints. It's funny. Hey, yo. Hey, it's all good. No judgments here. All right, let's do a round of Haas. I haven't actually edited or slated any Haas, the current Haas episodes to go out to YouTube yet, mainly because I wanted to get all the prediction and tier list stuff. Ooh, or now, oh, actually, do we want to do? I'm gonna ignore what's happening over here. Do we want to do the other two tier lists that I showed off on Monday? Because we can. Let's do that. I think this is gonna be great. Low-key actually excited for this one. All right. Gonna take time? You don't want to do it? It's not gonna take that much time. Let's do the constructors. Let's do constructors because that one won't take as long. We'll save drivers for later, but let's do constructors. I need tier lists. Tier lists are easy videos. Not that I don't have enough footage, but I'm trying to like expand and broaden. Especially this is like prime early season prediction tier list time. Let's do constructors. We'll save drivers for another day. All right. We can slate it for Friday, and we can all spend some time. Why is my camera like? Why am I so off to the side? There we go. Actually, I probably won't even make this a video. Let's just do it, and I'll screenshot it and tweet it. That's all. That's an easy one. All right, where do we think? All right, I mean, kind of going with. I'm just gonna bang this out. Who did I say would get fourth? It was McLaren, Alpine. No, I said Haas was gonna get sixth. Damn, we gotta hope Alpine falls off. Oh, fourth. Oh, sorry, fourth through sixth. So Alpine actually can't go here. I can read. Don't worry about it. There we go. What? What? You don't like that? I think that's a good one. Hold on. Don't do Ferrari dirt. It's already there. Hold on. Let me I'm gonna take a picture. Ugh. I'll just do it later. Done. You'll be following testing in Bahrain live. Nice. I need to. All right. Here's the British's. British says Ferrari, Merc, Red Bull, McLaren, Alpine, Aston, Alpha, Haas, Tauri, Williams. So this is British's. Sentinel, do you want to give me yours? You do all three. I got a popcorn kernel stuck in my back of my mouth. It sucks. We'll give Sentinel a minute. Alright, while Sentinel does that, we can boot. We can boot this while we wait. It's corn! A big lump of knobs. It has the juice. Alright. Perfect timing. We will bump back. Sentinel's got Ferrari, Merc, McLaren, Alpine, Rebel, Haas. Wait, I missed one. Ferrari, Merc, McLaren, Alpine, Red Bull, Haas. You're missing an Aston Martin, my guy. Missing an Aston. I mean, okay, the problem with Williams this year is that you have a rookie like Sargent coming in. That's Aston between Alpha and Tauri. So it would go, so it'd be that. Yeah. Actually, I can do this. Hold on, I have this. For it. Wait for it. Think. Oh, sorry, it's on me. Hey, stop. Grab you. All right, now we go back. Smiling at all these for nothing. Hold on. Who needs to label it when I tweet it out when I can just do it like this? Haas and Red Bull battling for 5th in the standings. Who would have thought? True. All right, so British had Ferrari, Merc, Red Bull. There was McLaren, Alpine, Aston, Alpha, Haas, Towery, Williams. Perfect. I got you. All right, that's done. That'll be a fun tweet slash post for tomorrow. Let's do. Hi. Come up, please. Thank you. Gotta remember where we left off. Come on. Oh, it's Monaco. This will be a good one, like one to do. We're gonna speed it up. I'm over the days of watching 70 however many laps of Monaco and F1 Manager. I'm not gonna lie. Gone are those days, I promise you. What even happened last night? We're dominating the Constructors Championship, by the way. What even happened? Spanish Grand Prix. Oh, right. It was a 1-2 because we're goated. All right. Back again on F1 Manager. Haas F1 team coming off of a dominant 1-2 performance out in Spain. We head now to the jewel of the F1 calendar, the Monaco Grand Prix, and we'll start actually with Pierre having a development point, and we are going to be putting it purely into pace. I think for whatever reason, reactions is not a stat that is thought about enough, and so we're just going to be we're going to be bumping these up a little bit. Theo, we're just going to give whatever. Any staff dev points? No. Pit crew, our tire changes are up to an 83. Love to see it. We just did that. Congratulations on the win. I mean, if the board confidence isn't literally as high as it possibly could be, then I don't know what this board is looking at. We do have $31 million, so I will be spending $3 million to refurb the team hub. Any other stuff that we could do? The factory is ongoing. I think we could do we can do the wind tunnel. We have just enough money for the wind tunnel. Thanks for stopping by, Settle. We will see you in the next one, hopefully. Have a nice night, day, whatever it particularly is for you. We will be here for you. All right, we're gonna upgrade our wind tunnel for $27 million. We're gonna have to up our sponsorship game because our monthly upkeep is going to be tremendous. The tax man been watching like, hey yo, where'd you get all this money, fam? And we're gonna have to look around and go, wow. That said, I think we can definitely, I'm gonna do 2 in the top 3 just because you never know. Like, we are flying, but at the same time, you just never know. What do we have going on in projects? We have a bunch of stuff still ongoing that are actually is pretty nicely staggered, if I do say so myself. But that should mean, if I go through and look, that we should have plenty of the most recent components and nothing yet to go on. And so really, that's a pretty quick turnaround to the race weekend here in Monte Carlo.
Cars have been racing through Monaco streets since 1929.
1929, huh? Back when they were half the size, with no aero, and you could actually overtake. Yeah, I remember that. Where is Monaco? There's Monaco. Ooh, a moderate rain for qualifying, by the way. Moderate rain for qualifying. Focus up. All right. Putting on the used stuff. So we have a lot of it. Pierre more than Lando. Back when Monaco was good. True. Front wing angle, maximum. Rear wing angle, maximum. Anti-roll distribution, almost minimum. Minus 335 and 85. Bang. The straights is literally on the minimum. Bang, bang. But you were like 8.5, you're like 3.5, you're 8.2, right? Did I nail it? That was your setup. 10, 16, 8.2, minus 335, and then 8.5. That is, in fact, your setup. Honestly, we've been doing this. I'm okay to continue doing it. The setups do well enough. The AI does well enough. You haven't played this game in some time. I get that.
Today has already seen the
I get that. Pierre Gasly, enters in FP3. Does that mean it's gonna be wet to start? 91 and 93, banging. Is it going to be? It's a soft. All right, we're gonna have to focus up because this might be one of those instances when we can sneak through with the least amount of worry, thanks to rain, and we can also see some potentially wild stuff. ERS. Nope, that's gearbox. We're just gonna go ahead and throw the ERS, the new ERS on for Pierre, because Lando's is on 70, but Pierre's already like 20% lower than that. But let's do it. Q1 here in Monaco.
Ready to check?
Copy.
It is going to be dry for all of Q1. You're welcome, favorites. True. Let's do it, Lando. Get out there, Chief. We'll send the Pierre out. We're really gonna hope we don't run into any traffic. Although this is Monaco, and that's pretty much just how this goes. Norris is gonna get a clean lap. So is Pierre. We're goated. All right, and that is Q1 done and dusted. Pierre put 2/10 on Lando's head, by the way. Just saying. Wow. Monaco's gonna have some wild finishes here. Man, Q1, no, I really wish and hope that in the next game you could simulate qualifying sessions, but leave the computer like notes. Like, try and save a set of tires, only go out once. Like, come on, work with me here. I think that would be a great addition. So we don't have to, because at this point, you just don't have to worry about Q1. And I guess we can also start, on circuits where we're having a fresh set of softs isn't as big of a deal. Then maybe it doesn't matter as much. We can just sim Q1 anyway. But for like Monaco specifically, like you like the idea where you each have a team? Yes, 100%. I also want, Charles beats Pierre on a fresh set of tires. Crazy. I'm gonna leave them on a new set of softs, just in case it does rain soon. Like now, like right now.
Yeah, I'm ready to check. Okay.
Gonna rain in 4 minutes. Wow, that's a lot of traffic. It's gonna rain in 1 minute. All right, we're good. That's Q2 done. Goodbye.
Yeah, confirm.
Goodbye. That's done. That's dusted. Lando is gonna top the table of Q2 by over 7/10 of a second. It is going full wet. It is full wet. It is bouncing back and forth between maximum damp or full wet. Holy. And Verstappen hasn't even set a time, by the way. Akon also in the mud. Mick also just hasn't set a time for some reason. Wow. Leclerc now in the bottom. I mean, Verstappen apparently fast enough. Oh, this is gonna get wild. Wow, maximum, like full wet. Oh, they just didn't go out again. Oh, wow, crazy. Leclerc in the mud. Tops Q1, out in Q2, behind the Williams of Yuki Tsunoda, by the way. Wow. What a wild Q2. We're back on the softs. Oh my god. All right, we're gonna put them on U softs because if it does rain again, then it won't matter. And we want to save the set of softs for the race.
Radio check.
No rain. It says it's gonna be wet in 4 minutes and then dry in 8 minutes. What? Game? Hello? I don't believe you. Yes, follow Verstappen around, hound him. Lando is gonna get a minorly clean lap. Pierre is gonna follow around Verstappen. He goes purple, getting a tow from Verstappen all the way along the straights. Love to see it. Gasly puts almost 4/10 on Lando on that one. Love it. Also, I couldn't help but notice that the game messed with, got us in practice where we used one too many sets of softs in practice, and so we're kind of mudded. I really want that set of that fresh set of softs, so we're gonna try, if we can, to put it on pole. We're gonna hopefully get a front row lockout on a used set of tires. If we can. Here we go. Middle of the pack. We will hop on board with young Lando on this one. As we come around Rascast, the sun cresting over the hills as Lando begins his final qualifying lap here in Monaco, up the hill towards Casino Square. The other Haas driver, Gasly, just behind, getting a bit of a tow from, who is at the Williams just ahead. Hopefully we don't run into traffic when it comes to this, but Lando does improve, Gasly does not. That's a bit of a shame. The Williams might give us a bit more traffic than we were initially anticipating, but at the same time, it is Monaco. It's a short lap. Up to Rascas, he goes purple, middle sector, Lando Norris to the line. Oh, 300ths of a second between Lando Norris and pole position. You have to wonder if the Williams got in the way just a little too much for the young Brit to put it on pole, and Pierre Gasly, who did not top the session up until then, puts it on pole position. But it is indeed a Haas front row lockout here in Monaco, which is pretty much exactly where you want to be if you're us. We're gonna have an opportunity to hopefully see some battles on track with that fresh set of softs looking rough. I mean, is there any? No, there's not. No, there's really not. So softs to hard, I think it is for one of them. Do we dare? Chief strategist, I need your thoughts. Do we put one of them on? Do we split the strategies? Put one of them on the softs, one of them on the mediums. I'm thinking so. pump in an extra lap of fuel. Both of them will be deploy. Do we like this? Do we want... Would you feel... All right, I'll give you the opportunity as the resident Lando stan. Would you rather have Lando start on the softs, or would you rather have Lando start on the mediums? All right, we will flop. Lando Norris will start on the mediums. Pierre will start on the softs. They are a fresh set of softs, so there is that no rain predicted. Here we go. One stop for both. Lando gets the mediums. Pierre got pole, so he gets the softs. We have Lando will have the advantage if there is a late safety car, as he will have the fresh set of softs remaining. Pierre will just have to do the best we can. And let's get it. Monaco up right now.
The drivers have now taken position on the grid.
The drivers have taken their position. 78 laps of Monaco. You ready to watch it all at one time speed?
There we have Pierre Gasly. They're starting today at the head of the pack. It's time for one of the most exciting races
Here we go.
in the world. This is the Monaco Grand
To
Prix.
5 red lights.
And it's
Lights out, and away we go. A good start for Pierre. A very processional start towards turn 1 incoming. Gasly will and should probably just kind of walk away from everyone. A good mix of mediums and softs in the top 8. Yuki Tsunoda starting on the hards down there in P10, trying to play a little bit of a track position here in Monaco. That said, it's going to be very, very tight. Verstappen already lost 1.5 seconds to young Lando, and this could be a very processional race for the Haas F1 team. Going to be fascinating to see how this goes. All right, we've pulled 2 seconds on Verstappen. We will drop their ERS, and honestly, I might save fuel now. Once it gets to like half a kilo, we might bump them back down to standard. We don't need to push unless absolutely necessary. Wow, the gap already. Ocon hounding Verstappen, slowing down the Red Bull driver just a smidge, if I had to guess. Bottas also with a good qualifying, starting there in P5. DRS is enabled. The one DRS zone here being the start-finish straight, going to be very interesting to say the least. Spencer, what's your ultimate goal for the series? Shumi, Bros World Drivers Champion. So my goal for the series started at just, you know, winning a drivers, winning a constructors championship, and then I think also it's kind of turned into a storyline based series where it's like I'm just envisioning like 3 months from now when we're potentially like into season 6 or 7. It's just like an F1 manager series that's gone 100+ episodes. I love that. We might hit a point at the end of the season where we start speed running a little more of the races, and to just try and get out to the point where it just gets a little weird. Nico Kara World Drivers Championship, maybe. I do want to give Mick a drivers championship. I think that would be pretty fun. So maybe in a couple seasons we might bring him back and see if he can challenge probably Lando for a driver's title. We'll have to see though. That's kind of the goal. I mean, the original goal was kind of take it semi-realistically, see if we can get a drivers and a constructors championship. You'd love for it to have Mick and David as their lineup in the future once the car is good enough. Yeah, we could definitely probably do that. I think my overall vision for the series is pretty much just have fun with it. Apparently there's just like not a player base for this right now, and so I love the idea of being like one of the longest running series on YouTube for an F1 game. So I'm sure we'll probably get to that point where we just start doing some absolutely wild stuff. Also, Pierre has pulled a 2-second gap to Lando, and Lando now has a 5-second gap to Ocon. So basically what we're saying is this race is already over, and we're going to be celebrating like kings tonight. The record season number on YouTube is 28 seasons. Yeah, but they were like speed running it from the jump. I want to do a series like that when the next game comes out. It's definitely fascinating. To be honest, my series probably won't be that long or that far into the future, but you know, just a consistent running on YouTube, I guess, is kind of what I was going for. Also, Ocon gets around Verstappen, by the way. We kind of missed that a handful of laps ago, and British is in the mud because now Ocon is on the podium here in Monaco. Got to 2039 and got bored. Yeah. I think the biggest problem with this game, like the longevity of it, is that the driver development is so slow. Like if the young drivers were able to develop a lot faster, I think it makes a lot more sense. But it's just like you only get so many like development points, even as a driver on like maximum like growth potential, that it just they don't become the best drivers, you know. It's almost like it's just more advantageous to keep the starting drivers as long as possible, basically. Wait till you see his points. Oh yeah, we got the booby points. All right, where are we at? How we doing? How we feeling? Oh, so we bumped Gasly down to light tires. We're gonna try and build a. We're gonna try not to dip this far into. We're gonna try not to dip below 30% if we can help it. By the time the real F1 drivers retire, they'll be the best. They're still the best. Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest problem. It's like the young drivers just don't develop fast enough to challenge for race seats, which, you know, might be a thing that we've seen a little bit in real life, but at the same time, it's not like the young guys are like plebs by the time they're like should be considered for an F1 seat. Also, our tire advantage for Pierre on the softs is like so superior to literally everyone else. All right, we're gonna speed this up a little bit. It's Monaco. We've all seen Monaco. At Lando, we are gonna push fuel again. I'm gonna try and extend that 6-second gap out as long as we possibly can. For Pierre, we'll leave it alone. I mean, Ocon having to battle Verstappen is just allowing us to literally drive off into the distance. Literally. Alright, at 2, we'll bump it back down. We extended it about 2 seconds on that push stint. So that says a lot, probably. My goodness, our car is so good. We'll bump Pierre back down to standard. I think that's a good enough. Where is it? That should get closer. We can also bump it back down when it does get closer. Wow, a 10-second gap behind to Ocon. That 10-second gap might legitimately reach 12 plus seconds. You also found the best way into cheesing the lower teams AI is hiring top tier. Oh yeah, no, 100%. The driver makes the car more than the car makes the driver, I think, in terms of this game. That's why I think Mick, I think the biggest example of that is Mick last season on here, where he was in a good car, but he wasn't putting in the kind of performances that Pierre was, like, across the whole season. Like, it's definitely the driver makes the car more than the car can make a driver, which, you know, isn't that unrealistic, but at the same time, it's also a little unrealistic to go too far the other way. So now Williams is a top 3 team and you're saving Red Bull's officially died. Hey, that sounds like the other YouTube series I'm doing right now, Red Bull to the Mud. It's pretty good, pretty big fan of it, actually. It's a fun one. All right, Pierre is. You've entered Pierre's pit window. I might legitimately just bump him up to aggressive and see. I just want to see this gap get pushed out as far as possible. We're flying. He has a 23, 22, 20, almost 23 second gap ahead or behind. We will not have Haas slander here, but welcome to Hey Natural Lando and Pierre in the Haas. Yes, sir. We had Pierre's gonna stall it. Let me do this real quick. Yes, box to hards, go. We had Pierre run away with the drivers championship last year, and so we let Mick go to bring in Lando to try and battle for the title this year at the top, because our car is still really good. Not as cursed as Charles and Arthur in the Haas. Probably true. You know, we've kept an eye on the young Monegasque man, but he signed a new contract with Red Bull right before we wanted to get him, so he is now gone from us. Also, Pierre caught up to the back markers and pit just now. Perfect timing, by the way. We'll definitely be able to run away with it. VSC? Who done it? Who done it? It wasn't Pierre. It wasn't Lando. That's all I care about. Who was it? Who ruined it for us?
I think that was a crash.
There it is.
Here's
Checo
the replay.
in the
Now
mud.
Just take a look at the McLaren.
It's not gonna be any better game. No, no box. No box. It's already too late. Boxing should have been the move. You're right. It would have been the right move. We'll see how long. No, you're right. We box. We box. We box. We box. We box. Hey, language yourself, huh? Language, please. There are children present. Me, I'm the child. All right, the VSC is still out, so we box for free. We're good. We're fine. Yes, I know but I'm still baby though, so relax. All right, so we accidentally left Pierre on push for a little too long, so we're gonna. All right, safety car ending soon. Back to standard. Lando can push fuel because he's got so much of it. VSC ending. VSC ending. We are, my goodness, 23 and a half seconds ahead. Pierre is almost 30 seconds ahead of Verstappen. What kind of world are we living in? Flying. Everybody on the hards, except for those who started on the hards. All right, back to speed. Gasly's about to lap Van Dorn and Stroll. Yeah, time to lap a lot. Yeah, we're gonna speed this one up. The only thing that's gonna save us from a nice boring finish to this race is a late safety car and, you know, spice this thing up. But realistically, this is kind of what we were expecting down the stretch of the season. That's a new fastest lap for one Lando. Honestly, if we build a big enough gap, we might box one for like an Uber lap later. We're flying though. Bump back down. He does. Yeah, he also has a. Oh, actually, no, it would be Lando because Lando started on the mediums. I think you should do true. We're a little too heavy on electricity. A little too heavy on electricity. Please use some. We're wasting energy here, gentlemen. We're wasting energy. Please continue to use. Thank you. Thank you. On both. We're wasting electricity. We're bouncing off 100. That means we're wasting potential. You just... Alright, be honest with me. Was this just so Lando can try and catch Pierre? Was that the entire point of that? Because you did bring attention to me that we were wasting electricity. But be honest with me. Are you just trying to get Lando to catch up to Pierre? I want my lawyer. Alright, that answers all questions we had. Thank you, Your Honor. All right, we need... Wow. I think even Lando has a full pit stop gap here. Only 22. Pit lane. Where's pit lane? Pit lane, one of these. Green flag, pit lane, 20 seconds. I mean, we could box both of them for fresh sauce if we want. Not fresh, but new sauce. Not new. Used sauce if we wanted to. Because Lando has a 28-second gap. Pierre has obviously a 31-second gap. We're quite literally driving away with this one. Dude, Space Nerd, get on the level. Dude, Williams is actually pretty good. The Sonoda train is in full effect, by the way. Look at this. We're literally gonna lap through P7 just because all these people are gonna have to get out of the way. Doing P11. He is firmly in the middle of this train right now. But the Williams is not actually that bad in the save currently. Duin is successfully where did Yuki, didn't Yuki get P5 in Bahrain at the beginning of this season? I feel like, yeah, because it was that wild race with the red flag and like the crazy top 10. And yeah, Yuki ended up getting like 5th. Giovinazzi got 7th. It was a crazy race. It was a wild race to say the least. Let's see, we have successfully lapped through P7, and we are now on the hunt for Checo, who's in an entire sector by himself most of the time. Yeah, Bottas and Williams in your save, and he is carrying hard. Dude, Bottas is kind of OP in this game, I'm not gonna lie. I saw a lot of people going for him in the beginning. Yeah, he does just carry 100%. I mean, we're still just flying, by the way. You've also seen K-Max single-handedly get cost a P6 in the constructors. Kevin was an interesting topic when it comes to our version of the F1 universe. He's a great lad, but becomes very expensive. True. Yeah, K-Mag does not do that in this save. We'll just leave it at that. K-Mag had a rough finish to his career at Haas in this save. We'll say that. He had opportunities to save himself, but just did himself no favors in Brazil or Abu Dhabi. We'll leave it at that. We're not even worried about it, and we'll just continue on. Also, we're literally under 0 threat, so we're just gonna 16 times this and move on with our lives. He's like, yeah, there was a lot of discussion about the differences between I and British as team managers, and how we are running our alternate F1 universes. He says we are actually flying. The Russell train is in full effect. Ferrari in the mud. Duin just outside points. We might hop on board with Duin on the last couple of laps. He found new ways to lose points in his P4 car pace, but then he got P2 in Canada and he clicked on, hey, you know, sometimes that's all it takes. That's what saved Mick more than a few times in the first couple of seasons, because we really had to have some debate on whether or not we wanted to keep Mick. And down the stretch of this every season, he did just enough to kind of save himself. All right, we'll hop on board with Duin because he's just outside the points, and we've kind of literally separated ourselves by, we're about to lap, am I saying that right? We're about to lap the Aston Martins again ish, kinda. You're yet to see what he does in your alpha when I finally install the game again. Yeah, that's true. I had the debate. I debated everyone in chat. Everyone in chat was very firm that they believed Mick should go. but I let my emotions get the better of me. What could Verstappen do in that Williams? That's a great question. As the last lap for everyone, Doohan has this lap to get by Sainz, who's battling Russell. So I think Doohan, unfortunately, is going to fall just outside the points, finishing in P9. Yeah, Yuki was one of the few who started on hards, and so he had to box for his next set of tires and put him down there in P15. Oh, hey, Pierre 1, guys. Hey, guys, our drivers went 1-2, and we're watching a Williams.
And it's Gasly.
We'll watch it. I know, I do too.
We can take a look now. It's first place for
Yeah, Gasly. I'm pretty sure he's won Monaco like 3 seasons in a row now.
There'll be celebrations tonight after a performance like that. They've done themselves and the team proud.
Oh. Lando also on the podium. Who got P3? I literally didn't check. I think it was Verstappen, right? It will be. Verstappen is not finished yet, but it will be.
Good job. Letting you could
Literally could have crashed into a wall in the last corner and still get. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he could limp over the finish line. Everyone else is gonna finish. Max 30 something odd seconds later is gonna come home and finish P2. British is saved an Esteban Ocon podium as they finish P4 and P5 respectively. But we started in a front row lockout. We finished on a podium lockout, and you know, that's that. It really that really helps to start on the front row and have the pace to literally drive away from the rest of the field. As I believe it was all the way up through P7 that they all finished a lap down.
Well, this weekend, Pierre Gasly flew us to the stars.
Guys, he's flown us to the stars a lot in this series, let's be honest. He won a lot of races last year.
This podium is a true recognition of everyone who's been working.
You know, I'm just gonna
so
say it.
hard.
So far, 7 rounds through this series, and Lando hasn't put up as much of a fight as I was kind of expecting him to. Yeah, exactly. Lando has not put up his best form so far.
The Frenchman was
I don't know what it
in
is.
form today.
Maybe Pierre is just benefiting from the tutelage of the Haas F1 team. You know, this is his 3rd season in the car and getting developed by the best F1 team in the country, in the world. So, like an 8-time champion, you say, but he was very. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, we'll tootle him up. We'll tootle him up a little bit. He is pretty OP in race pace.
Won them a lot of new fans.
Let's go, new fans.
The team ends in first place.
What do you mean ends? We've been in first place in the constructors. We've been first in the constructors. There's been no real change about that. Look at that. Only the top 6 finished the full 78 laps. Everyone else only did 77. The Aston Martins were pretty close to only finishing 76. Lando still does hold the top spot in the driver standings, but only by an singular point. Lando has 2 wins and 6 podiums with 1 fastest lap. Pierre has 3 wins, 5 podiums, and 2 fastest laps. And they each have 3 pole positions. Actually, okay, it's a little closer than we think. Pierre only has 1 more win, so I guess technically they were actually tied on wins going into this one. And also tied on fastest laps. All right, fair enough. I know fastest lap is useless, but it's a fun stat. It's a fun stat. We are 45 points ahead of Red Bull in the constructors. Do we want to start taking bets on how quickly Haas is going to wrap up the constructors standings? Because we are well on our way already to dominating this. No, we have the worst system for points, which is no fastest lap, no pole position, no double points last race, and the old only top 8 score points. That's it. That's what we got. Those are the points that we're currently rocking. I'm hoping that we'll get the updated. We'll get some of it back after during this season, but we'll see. We'll figure it out.
1 minute 50 seconds. The team ends in first place with 2 points. The Frenchman was in 4th today. 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 The Frenchman was in 4
But Lando gets a dev point. Love to see it. 1.1 goes out. 3.899 million comes in. Easy. And yeah, it's on to Azerbaijan next. Also, I just realized I've been using this camera instead of my F1 Manager camera because normally I'm down here. It took me that long to notice, so there's going to be a bit of a discrepancy in the YouTubes. You want the meme way of new school points, pole position, fastest lap, and dude, I had it. I in one of my other saves, I have exactly that. I have all the points possibilities and double points last race. Yes, exactly. Yes, in the bin. I literally realized it because I usually make the joke that you can't see how much money I make because my head is right in front of it. And I went to make that joke. The problem is I looked, and I was like, wait, you can see it. Oh God, my fucking camera is in the wrong position because we did the tier list. And we're in the mud. Let's see. All right, that's kind of everything I had planned for tonight. I know it's kind of early, but I mean, it's not like, we don't have to go for forever every night, right? Anyone have any ideas? Yes, early, I know. I do want to go get started on editing that predictions video because like I said, I do want it to go up on Friday. Shut the, you know what we're talking about. I said it's early to end stream. It is still late for me. It's very, very early for you. You got to be up in 3 hours for pre. Exactly. You get to go take a nap. Imagine that. Or go play video games. I don't know. I'm not your mother. Go do whatever you want to do. But unless anyone has any other ideas, I mean, that's kind of it. I want to go start editing this predictions video so I can get it up on Friday. But this was good. I think on if you aren't, that's what, yeah, exactly. Sad. Wow, bummer. That would be some freaky witchcraft. So the plan for Friday is I want to do the driver's standings. Not sad, you go, fair enough. I want to do the driver's tier list. This driver's standings tier list. And then we'll do probably F1 Manager, if we're being honest. That seems pretty easy. We'll figure it out until then. But imagine tapping out, dude. Great, cool, banging, kind of weak. Fair enough. But that said, thank you guys for contributing during the F1 predictions video. This is gonna be. It's gonna be an interesting thing to edit. I haven't had to edit anything like this or make a video like this, so it's gonna be very fascinating. It's probably gonna take me a while, which is why I want to get started tonight, and then I'll probably finish it tomorrow. But until then, stay safe. I'll see you guys on Friday. The plan is, yes, thank you for giving me money. I will happily take your money. Like I said, the plan is that we'll do the drivers predictions tier list for fun, and then we will just see where the night takes us from that point. But until then, let's give British his bop, and then we will get out of here and enjoy the rest of our evenings. Preseason testing starts tomorrow. Get excited, it's gonna be fun. I'll see you guys in a couple of days. Stay safe. I appreciate you guys. Have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next one.
3 and 4. Count what you have now. Don't count what you don't have.